Good morning. It is Sunday, May 15th, and we got in an early morning run. I did. And now Mickey and I, there she is, are headed to Knott's Berry Farm for the day. Sadly, it's going to mean I'm going to miss Michael Aranda's Twitch live stream. He's going to be working on some music and some gaming and some programming, all of which sound interesting. Another thing looking forward to from Michael coming up is he covered the Bernie Sanders campaign stop in Missoula recently. And it brought to mind my own personal experiences working for the Clinton campaign. And this was not Hillary but Bill back in 1992. That's a long time ago. I was at the time attending Wayne State University, and I became involved with a committee named the Wayne State University Students for Clinton Gore. 220, I think, students at Wayne State University to do all kinds of things for the Bill Clinton campaign. What did we do? What is it like to be part of a campaign? It's very exciting, especially when you're winning, and we were winning. That makes it more fun, but it was exciting anyway. I would guess in any campaign there's that same kind of feeling of that you're on a mission and you're trying to do something good. I know that's the way we all felt. What did we actually do day to day? We did a lot of phone banking, calling people to find out who they were supporting, if they might be interested in supporting Bill, if they might be interested in contributing to the campaign, if they could get their neighbors out to work for Bill or vote for Bill. We did a lot of leafleting, dropping flyers off on doorknobs, on windshields, in parking lots. One of the hairier experiences, you don't want to be a Bill Clinton campaigner going to Joe Louis Arena at a hockey game. And I don't know that that was necessarily so much Bill. I don't think the hockey crowd was really receptive to a lot of political campaigning, if any, but we did that for a night or two, and that was kind of rough. Not a lot of welcome reception there. We worked several rallies where we worked to get the crowds out to attend those rallies. Some where Bill was appearing, some where Hillary was appearing, some where just other surrogates were appearing. I had the opportunity, I wrote the opening remarks for Geraldine Ferraro when she came and spoke at one point. I was honored to do that. A lot of things. And yes, there were a couple cases where I might have been part of what you would call the covert operations. So those of you who like to look for instances where Hillary is involved in scandal and chalk that up to that's the way the Clintons are, I can say, yeah, maybe. I've been a part of that. And let me explain those, though, before you condemn me too harshly. We worked a campaign stop where Bill was coming in to, I think it was Macomb Community College, and he was going to give a speech there, and we did a lot of the prep work. We were there the day before, setting up chairs and roping off different areas for the press, different areas for the audience, different areas for Bill and the campaign crew, just making sure parking was going to be handled and porta potties were going to be handled, all that kind of thing. But one thing you have to understand, especially when you get into the general election, most campaign stops like this one at this community college, probably like the one in Missoula, they are not for the crowd there, they are for the press. They are for TV cameras, because especially once you move into the general election, that's where things are going to be won or lost.
As you can see, there's some of the press beginning to set up. These are the folks who travel with the candidate, and as I mentioned earlier, they came up from Little Rock, Arkansas this morning. Most of these folks are with network news organizations, television crews, and there are print reporters you can see on the second riser. Normally there is a room for anywhere from 30 to 50 camera operators and technicians on any podium.
If you doubt that, look at the way Trump handles the Republican convention and the way a guy with that much TV experience tries to manage that campaign. So we were working with the people from the national campaign the day before. Some of them, their advanced crew were there, and we looked over the site, and the main thing you want to do is if you have a crowd of 300, you want to make it look like 3,000. If you have 3,000, you want to make it look like 30,000. A lot of that involves getting the crowd where you want the crowd to be and getting the cameras where you want the cameras to be. We were on the campus of this community college, which is a lovely campus, but we had one problem. Bill was going to be speaking down inside sort of a little valley, and we had a reasonable place to put the cameras up on a hill overlooking it that was going to work pretty well. The crowd would be channeled down into this low-lying area in front of him, but it was not ideal. One of the national campaign guys who I had worked with throughout the day, and we kind of got to know each other and understand each other, sort of pointed out that, boy, the perfect place to put the cameras would be right here on this hillside. If only these branches of this tree were not blocking the view. But they were there, and certainly we couldn't get permission from the college to get those removed just for this campaign stop on this one day. But boy, it sure would be nice if those branches were not there. Let me just say that everybody else had gone home, and this was not unusual. I worked later on that campaign that day than anybody else, and I was there in the morning before anybody else was there. And the next day, when they wanted to place those cameras, those branches were not there.
Listen, we appreciate all you folks being here today. Seriously, the governor is on his way. We'll be here in just a few minutes. Just a few minutes now. Be patient, okay? I want to thank a lot of folks that put in some extra effort to make this all possible today at this beautiful site here at Macomb Community College. A lot of folks came out and did a lot of work, particularly very early this morning.
We didn't permanently damage the trees that those branches were removed from, but a couple of branches were indeed removed. I don't know who did that, but it got done. Another case where it might have been even more of a covert operations kind of thing, and even what you might call a dirty tricks, is that we were going to go to the opposition's rally in Grand Rapids. We were going to try to cause a bit of ruckus, or at least present an opposing viewpoint, but you always try to maintain some crowd control. They were not going to let us in with a bunch of Clinton campaign signs, so we devised a plan. Somebody devised a plan. I don't remember who came up with this idea, but we painted up a lot of cloth banners that were easily folded up and could be tucked in under your shirt, that once you got inside a rally, they could be opened up and unfurled and marched around. And I personally painted up those signs, and we were all ready to go. We had, and a couple of them were larger. They were on bed sheets, I think. And we were all ready to go. But the night before, Renee Pipus, who was really the head of the Wayne State University Students for Clinton Gore, she was our leader. She called me up and said, let's not go. This is not what we want to do. She didn't think, and I agreed with her. That's not the way Bill would go. Who knows? We didn't check with him. We were not that close in access. She had met him several times. I met him once, but we decided no, we weren't going to do that. So we had them, and we threw them away. Actually, those signs that we made to sneak into the rally and cause a ruckus all got tossed in the trash. One last side note to that story about working on the Clinton campaign in '92. At that Macomb rally, I tended to get there early and stay late, and at the end of the day, Bill was still there. He was back in some office, but the other national campaign workers were wrapping things up, and one of them asked me if I had gotten a chance to meet with Bill and get his autograph, and I said no, I'd been busy, but that was okay. I didn't need that. But he said, no, you worked too hard, and he made a special effort. He took me back and brought Bill out, and he introduced me, and he told Bill I was one of the hardest working campaign workers they had in the area, and I was really honored and flattered. And Bill signed my staff badge. He said, "Thanks, Steve." Bill Clinton signed it, and I said something, but I don't remember what because I was really exhausted, and he said something, and I hardly remember what because he was really exhausted. That was a strange part of the campaign. You could see that Bill was at that point subject to so much handling that people took him around and said, "Okay, here we are. Go. Say what you got to say," and then they would move him on to the next stop. A brilliant guy who I have great admiration for to this day, in spite of all his problems. And yes, I know he has a lot of problems, but at that point, he shook my hand and called me by name and signed my autograph. But I don't know if he could have told you 2 minutes later who I was or what I had done, but I did not hold that against him. I carried that staff badge around for a long time, but somewhere in the last few years it got thrown away. My wife really hates paper, and things that look like old paper really don't hold much stock. So there are a few things in my life, material things, that I regret having lost, but that's one I really miss. But anyway, we're on our way to Knott's. Going to have a good day today. Keep watching the campaign and seeing what's going on this year. It is an exciting, even wilder race than that year, and that was a pretty wild year. So till next time, don't forget to be awesome, and we will talk to you again soon, hopefully. It's got bacon.
I am a robot.
Get ready.
I almost beat him.
I got wet.
My name is Gary. Whiskey. I'm a yoke. I come from a family known as the Chief Burnett and what I'll say, Kio Homekwa family. Originally, my family came from the Great Lakes region of the U.S. Now, my family, they were relocated. They were moved by the government to the Prairie Band, Potawatomi Indian Reservation in northeastern Kansas.
It was awesome! Also really dizzying. It's really weird to walk after that because there's so many twists and turns, but it was awesome.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.